are these people?
How do we start this? This is the fun part. This is the fun part. So this is past week, and we had viral superstar Oliver Anthony, famous. I believe he's top 100 Billboard charts right now. Number one on iTunes in a day, just like that. Cool. And we'll listen to some of the song. I mean, it's oh
boy,
it's supposed to be. I mean, this got 50 on Twitter. So I mean, like this is more than just like a popular song. Like this is like a Black Friday kind of moment of like, this is like almost like meme level of like song. So this song basically turned into a meme of itself, and that's not like anyone else's fault besides the people who promoted it. So
yeah,
well, let's listen to a little bit of Oliver Anthony, Men North of Richmond, the lyrics.
So working hard.
We'll get that first strum in.
I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay.
And like, so like immediately, like, I'm not here to shit on this guy. I think there's there's a person definitely behind there.
Yeah.
Sure. And I'm gonna we'll get to that, but just as a musician, like both from us, like coming into musicians, like, so like when you think of like a folk country song, isn't the first line, like if I asked you to write like a folk, like political country song, wouldn't the first line you think of like, I've been working all day, like wouldn't that be the first thing that comes to your head? So like this is what I'm talking about, is like this song, like for the level of fame that it got, like it's really just a fine little folky tune with very vague politics. It's basically as deep as a populist breakdown, like break room small talk. Like this is like lunchroom populist small talk. And again, this guy, he is probably struggling right now. We'll get to
I can sit out here and waste my life away, drag back home and drown my troubles away. It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is.
I think there's a reason why people resonated.
Sure. Yeah. So far we're doing great. So far it's nice and relatable.
Yeah.
Working class, getting taken advantage of, getting stooped by the boss. These are timeless
This is like
country western.
This is like if you asked me to write like a political folk song, like I would write something like this. Like this would be like, and that's what I'm saying. Like it's not a bad song. It's not a bad song.
And here's where we arrive at a fork in the road.
Yeah, you wrote. Well, this is what really chapped everyone's ass. Right
here comes our
Richmond.
Sorry, it's 4 years.
At this point, you're thinking, "Oh, this guy gets it, right?"
No, he's like this is our comrade. This is our guy.
Yep.
And then he gets to 47 seconds.
What you think? Wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do. 'Cause your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end. 'Cause the rich men don't.
So now you know this guy is like some kind of like libertarian, like Southern type.
Yep.
He said like taxes are bad. Like this is like I understand. Like I wouldn't pay taxes either in this economy. Honestly, if I could get away with it, I wouldn't fucking pay taxes. What, for Zelensky's coke? I'm not going to pay taxes in America. If I was in a different country,
cheap,
I'd pay taxes. But like the fundamental flaw of like this taxation theft, like libertarian ideology, it's whatever. Like that's what I'm saying. Like this is not a perfect being. Like we're working with someone here. Like this is.
Nobody's perfect. Yeah.
That's right. If we're talking about class consciousness, we have to educate these people.
Now let's keep going.
Richmond. I wish politicians would look out for miners, and not just miners on an island somewhere. Lord, we got folks in the street, ain't got nothing to eat, and the obese milking welfare.
Whoa! And there it is. And this is the moment when the libertarian guy at the bar who you've been chatting with and it's kind of going okay, blurts out the N-word, and you're like, well, I guess we can't talk anymore.
This is like the moment of the song where like the N-word comes up and you can't say it out loud.
Exactly.
Like that's like
to
this
me,
part of the song.
But if you're 5'3" and you're 300 pounds,
Fat shaming too.
taxes ought not to pay for your bags of fudge rounds.
And what the fuck?
And here
rounds.
Okay. Okay.
No, lay it off. I mean, I want to know because like fudge round sounds like something I would get at Costco, but
no, I love and this pains because I love fudge rounds. Do you understand? I'm 270 pounds and I fucking love those. Now,
I'm pretty sure like a lot of people are asking how this person got.
It's
popular.
not just as bad as like, oh, he's talking about welfare people. It's like, let's wrap it up. Let's take that welfare trope and let's add on the fat. Let's add on, oh, you're eating your processed food. Like poor people can afford to eat fucking better than processed food. And if you're poor, you would fucking know better than to put that. Like, there's so many great things he gets kind of right, but none of it's precise. None of it's super aimed. If anything, the sharpest, most defined shot this dude takes in the whole song is that line about fat people on welfare. And the fact that you can get it to whatever extent, talk about taxes, and then you want to talk about welfare, and you're talking about welfare among working class people. Like Utah Phillips said, we all assign blame in our own best interest. And that means that blame is relative. So if blame is relative, the important thing in society is who's controlling your blame. Who's pointing the blame? Who gets to direct it? And he says, why is it that large bodies of workers in my country assign blame downwards to some welfare chiselers at the bottom? And they go, oh, you're trying to get a little something for nothing. And they never look up at the big time chiselers getting a lot of something for doing nothing at all. And that's because our blame pattern is manipulated. And it's been just the same way that racism and sexism and homophobia get normalized in your language until you're realizing like, oh yeah, we've all kind of been saying this thing that's kind of problematic, or this slang that we should be re-examining, or whatever. Poor shaming is baked into our fucking language and our music, and an awful lot of people that sort of get it still, no matter how based they might be, hit that valley where they go, and it's because of poor people, because we're hardwired to do that. And to me, whatever conversations get started by this song, whatever class consciousness gets stirred up by some people, it's fucking dangerous to me that a song that punches down that directly the same way we've been taught to punch down gets fucking 15 million views on YouTube in a week, and everyone's just jerking themselves over. It's
that's the problem with it, is that like we're pedestalizing something that's like already like somewhat problematic. Where I'm coming from is like what if I'm seeing this on the internet? Like this is front page of news. If you Google this is all over every single news site. So if I'm seeing this live like happening, and I'm a single mom on welfare, and like I'm trying to relate to this song, meanwhile the entire country is able to relate, but I'm not able. Like, how am I supposed to capture that?
Yep.
You're losing me at that point.
Exactly. And you know what? People at the food bank which are in record numbers right now, didn't write the policies that put everybody at the fucking food bank. But like this dude, he follows 2 people on Twitter. One of them's Elon Musk. Okay. You want to talk about welfare. You want to talk about fucking welfare. You want to find someone on the dole. Our fucking politicians are on the dole. Our billionaires are on the dole. And if you're not pointing that finger up and you're pointing it down, then fucking nah. To
be fair, he's following.
And to me, again, everything else is vague. It's one of those vague enough to be safe kind of songs. And when you do that, it's nice. It's nice and accessible for people. The problem is people can adapt your song to fit their message, no matter what their message is. You know, if you leave that wiggle room, they can interpret it however they want. And then, everyone can view your message to align with theirs. If he said Epstein Island, if he said Little St. James and not just miners on an island somewhere, we know what he's saying. But if he fucking said Epstein Island, that song would have gotten suspended and yanked off of YouTube and Twitter before he could get any amount of traction on it. That's, there's a watering down you have to do. And at a certain point, it's like, it's just fluff. And then you add some poor shaming and a little sprinkle of fat shaming on it, and it just you lose me completely. Like the one thing we need is to realize that people are made to need assistance. And like, sure, there are some people that take advantage of the system, but again, it's a little drop in the pond. And maybe it's because it's easier to wrap your brain around the kind of money that people on welfare are receiving compared to billions of dollars. If you can't conceive of that kind of money, it's probably easier to focus on your neighbor that's making an amount you can relate to. But it's really willfully obtuse to not acknowledge, like, you want to talk welfare and you're not talking corporate welfare. I'm out.
Yeah, no, so I'm trying to find this video where he's like saying...
Thanks for letting me go. I appreciate that. I needed that.
no, I mean... Hold on.
Which I did... I have written 3 songs already when I heard this. I'm like, first of all, I got to give a shout out to something Steve Poikinen said that I wish I would have screenshotted because I want it framed. He said, if Jett, he said, all this guy did is take the chords to Wagon Wheel and add a bunch of red pill buzzwords. If Jett had done that 2 years ago, he'd be on Joe Rogan by now. I fucking love you, dude. And obviously as a musician, you watch someone blow up like that, you go, God, that would be nice. But
it's hard. Like there is like a little bit of like.
That's when my death threats would show up. That's when a whole bunch of people, granted, there's no misinterpreting my message. You're not gonna get through one of my songs and kind of think you know where I stand. But yeah, oof.
So let's present all absolutely fair sides here. Let's see where he's coming from. I'm not like, listen, I'm not like here.
Hang this thing up. I don't want to chatter too long to you, but Richmond North of Richmond, it touches on my time in Western North Carolina, working in the factory. It talks about some people that live north of Richmond, Virginia, who I'm sure you're very well aware of, who make life a little more difficult than it should be. It touches base on human trafficking and the atrocities that, I'll say this. I sit pretty dead center down the aisle on politics, and always have.
It's not a good thing.
I remember as a kid the conservatives wanting war and me not understanding that, and I remember a lot of the controversies when the left took office, and it seems like both sides serve the same master, and that master is not someone of any good to the people of this country.
This is what I'm talking about. This is break room populist talk. This is like me in the lunchroom. Like, hey, we're ruled by overlords. Like, both sides suck. I feel like everyone understands that.
Every single trucker that comes through my job, I can say that same thing to, and they're like, "Hell yeah, brother!" They were right there with you.
So if you want to know the true scam behind how exactly this guy got viral, it's through this guy Jason Howerton. So, who's basically he's like attached to the Daily Wire, right? And here's one LinkedIn post: launch a product, get over 1.3 million users in 2 days. Let that sink in. Oliver Anthony, who is not a professional musician, had his song uploaded on YouTube 2 days ago. X took it and ran with it. Now the song is to be on every streaming platform. He had reached out, but they had already agreed to donate money to record a full-length album. His life has changed every now and then. Make something so good that it changes everything. No, this isn't about politics. Sure isn't. This is about something that humans connect with, and how when it's so good, it can't be ignored, and God steps in, magic can happen. We can, sure. Oliver was 30 days sober when someone reached out and asked him. His song was "Men North of Richmond." Let me find the. Basically, this entire thing was based around a Daily Wire marketing scheme. Jason Howerton seems to be a key player involved in this astroturfing campaign. He's the CEO of Reach Digital, which helps media companies and political influencers grow their social media footprint exponentially. And he's the first account on LinkedIn heavily promoting this song that provides background on Anthony. And Jason indicates that he's been contracted to record the song. He admits that he covered the cost to produce a record. And just to be clear, this guy owns 300 acres of land. He's not like, this is not 90 acres of land. My bad.
90 acres, it's worth 300,000. Yeah.
In Goochland, Virginia. You could see that.
Stop.
No, that's what I was saying. They should call it Goochland land or something.
Oh, it's Goochland.
Yeah.
I knew there was one in Key West. I didn't know there was one in Virginia too.
Yeah, you can see it on his shirt.
Sorry.
So he admits to himself that he owns 90 acres of land. And this is like just an estimate. This is not his land, but in where he lives in Virginia, 90 acres of land is worth $350,000.
So not bad.
So like a small farm. I mean, that's, working class. It seems like working class to me. But back to the LinkedIn. This is like basically where the astroturfing campaign really began. I mean, Matt Walsh on August 11th said the main reason this song resonates with so many people is because it's so raw and authentic. I mean, it's like, this is the problem, is like people are asking, like, this is the first time this was ever done before, yet this is blown up, and it just happens to be like a full-on right-wing scam or like a marketing scheme on.
Indy says to tell them who Jason Howerton is.
He's the CEO of Reach Digital. You see his
where should he plug in and join?
His contact right here. One moment.
Oh, now they want the gooch.
Dan Bogdino from Fox News replied. He said, Jason works with me. Jason is a great guy. He texted me last week, blown away with the emotion of Oliver's song. He flew from CA to NC to help Oliver to get the message out. Yes, that's what he does. He uses digital platforms to spread the word, mine included. This fucking moron doesn't have a clue what happened. This fucker below. Fuck this guy. Blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, like, you have to tell me if this is a 100% natural growth. I mean, if you have like all the,
I mean, so to be fair, so few things now are really, if you want traction, like really good traction as a musician, you've got to put money into it and market it, because there's just so much music now that it's really like, how much are you willing to package yourself and grow your brand and increase your social media presence. And really the quickest way to fast track is to have someone willing to plump some money down, and you go to some dude like Jason Howard and he's like, I'll get you 1.3 million users in a week guaranteed, and then here you are. And I think it just coincides with the politics being vague enough, safe enough, and poor people punched downy enough to work for all these conservative and libertarian candidates to like latch onto right away. Because it's everyone else is doing it, Gooch land.
That's the Gooch. That I just want to make it clear that it's obviously not his. That mic's worth probably like $3,000 to U87. That's a Getcher. I don't that those are like one of the more expensive ones. I'm pretty sure.
Want a Dobro so bad.
Yeah, it would be nice to have.
They're not cheap, period. But if you're left-handed, like, just don't even don't even think about it.
So this was
and also again,
deep reactions to have.
He sounds how he sounds, and it's not as blatant as like Greta Van Fleet / Led Zeppelin, but the Tyler Childers is just overwhelming. And
now he has more followers than Tyler.
Yeah, I'm sure, which is criminal. It's fucking criminal.
The person that he stole his style from, essentially, and if you listen to Tyler Childers, it's basically the same exact thing. He has 100,000 more followers. He joined this month, and he has more followers than Tyler Childers in his entire career. Does he deserve? Like, honestly, so like, do you? What was it you sent me like that before, like Tyler Childers would like?
Oh yeah, it's what the kid says, Mom, can we get some Tyler Childers? And she says, we have Tyler Childers at home, and then it's all over again.
Yeah. So you wanna bust out these pieces?
Yeah, why not? So when I saw this, I'm like, it made me want to do that for people if that's what they're wanting right now, but not shit on poor people, and it's not that hard. And I tried to kind of water things down a little bit and make some just nice,
do your best Tyler Childers
Americana tunes.
Yeah.
All right.
Get yourself set up here.
Anyway. I wish I could remember a Tyler Childers song off the top of my head. Driving through the road work, all the work they took forever on. The road cones blur like memories of the miles we stared between. All right. So, the other day I hopped on the forklift doing my thing, and I cranked out 3 songs for not a tribute album, not an inspired by, like, a Spite album, a Spite EP, inspired by Oliver Anthony. So this song, blatantly enough, is called Welfare. When I heard him talk about welfare, I assumed corporate kind. All all the billions loaned to criminals who pinch your every dime. Oh, the must we keep so flush, they got money to burn in the sky. Well, they see useful clowns out punching down on folks in a food bank line. Think you got a little propaganda on you when you soaked up all those songs, 'cause you're following the son of an emerald miner on a place called X.com. And you watch him bathe in PPP and can't see something's wrong, but gotta grind your gears when a check appears at the door of some single mom. So if you don't give a shit who is subsidized, if they make 7 figures a year, you might want to look into the deficit you got sitting between your ears. And if you don't know working from your ruling class and you can't tell up from down, you might want to keep a word like welfare out of your corporate spoon-fed mouth.
Damn. Fucking roast. See, it's not hard, folks. It's really not. Like I could just pick up a guitar.
Do it.
Like Trump, Joe Biden sucks, and Joe Biden sucks.
I love. Hang on. Can we all just take a moment to appreciate? Crab hit the G, but instinctively he punk shifted down after that. He found the fucking power chord. I love that. That's where you went to for chord 2. Oh, that's beautiful.
Well, I mean,
all right.
How else are you gonna hit that minor? That's
right. Oh, that's fantastic.
You have to do some freaky shit in order to do that. I mean,
this.
I respect Jesse a lot more as a musician than myself, but I've invested. He's invested more time. He's got more.
I started thinking about mines now and what happens to mining companies. Well, I mean, what happens to the industry in general. And if you want to fire up Outsource. My granddad was a miner mighty long ago in Butte, who spent his whole life scraping by, who never left his boots. Then someone bought his bosses out and he'd outlived his use. They let him go, they trimmed the wage and they hired someone new. And he learned that that's what job creators do. Now walking through the heart of town, I see my daddy's shop that he shut down when the superstore got put in down the block. And he didn't have a lot of choice to work there all the same, for half of what he made when he had something to his name. He told me that's just the way it is, that's business through and through. And he told me that's what job creators do. Well, I watched a lot of poverty start blooming in this town, and I seen too many families out sleeping on the ground. When I offered help, I got harassed by Sheriff Brown as he gripped that kind of grin that says I'd love to put you down. But if I owned a mine and I enslaved them for a crew, then he'd call me a job creator too. They'll tell you how 1,000 miles are hungry for your bread, and they'll say that to succeed you need to step on people's heads. Those suckers might be starving, but it's better them than you. They'll tell you that's what job creators do.
Like a little.
That's called Outsource.
Lyric video action. A tip from the lovely Colin Radix-Carter, who is a member of the network. You check him out. He had a stream yesterday with Reed. Jesse does do it better. I think Jesse does do it better. And Really, it's really, this is just goes to show we don't have to idolize, one song.
Mhm.
What I actually really like Kate Johnstone's take on this.
Yes,
Um,
dude, she really did. She nailed it. If you're looking for the right nuanced take on the goods and bads of this, it's like we're at that point. We are in need enough of anyone to speak up and kind of lead the way. We'll take what we can get, and that's unfortunate when it's someone who wants to use some Reagan talking point bullshit.
Right. That's the whole point I wanted to bring up is like but like the reason why this happened is because we've allowed an empty, vacant space on the left for any sort of like cultural, movement or like any sort of, because honestly we're more divided today than I think we've ever been in the country. And most people, honestly, I mean, they're just simply perhaps not artistic, but this was her thread on this. She might perhaps write a article on this, but I really liked what you said here. So far, the closest thing to serious answer I've seen is Phil Oakes, Woody Guthrie, which is not a legitimate answer. Pointing at folk singers from generations ago is not the same thing as modern viral piece of art, which taps into the rage of today's working class. The success of Men North of Richmond shows that the right will successfully harness the discontent of the working class and channel it toward their own interests that the left does not. And the left is not doing that. To claim that is to live in fantasy land. Let me pull
Very well said.
It's legitimate to pretend that the left is making a good show of creating of art and directing culture in healthy directions. And it's equally illegitimate to pretend a song that features shitty Reaganite talking points about welfare cleans is a left-pointing voice of the people.
That's fantastic.
Caitlin, again, once again, queen of nuance. It absolutely is a viral piece of art. Stop making excuses. The right will never have organic virality because it's the voice of oligarchs who understand narrative control, and they'll understand they'll always have the astroturf advantage. And because it doesn't contain any answers to the problem, the left isn't doing what he did. The fact of the matter is that there are millions of people who love the song, even on the left, and the left can do this, but the artists are not there. They're not there. Another $5 from Jeff Thomas Black. Thank you so much. God bless. Another network.
For every super chat we receive, I'm going to remove an article of clothing. That's how we'll start doing this.
So I was already aware of these songs in preparation, but I didn't know how country you were going to go. But I really nailed it. I didn't know, like, I can't do that. So like that's something else. You really steered into a whole different genre, and I wasn't expecting, like, I genuinely wasn't expecting that from you. So,
nice.
But
cool.
No, it's the
You got surprises, man. I'm full of.
Well, listen, the more variable you are, the better you are as a musician. I mean, typically, but
you want a little soft shoe? I can do. No, nobody needs to see that.
Starting early. We already got 2 tips tonight. We might have to start. I have to start taking off some clothes.
I was about to say I should have. At this point, we've broken $7. I'll go ahead and take this off, and we're $3 away from the shirt popping off, folks. So watch.
It's getting a little hot in here. Damn. I mean, that was pretty much. You only had the 2 songs, right?
Yeah, I have a set of lyrics for a third, but I didn't do it. I do have a new spoken word piece. I'm really excited to bust out soon, but we don't have to do that here.
Okay. All right. You got American Tradition next week?
Yeah, we'll probably be doing some covers again. I really love doing the, like, everyone just hang out and chat and take requests and do covers. Maybe we'll.
So you should flesh out that third song. You should have a country.
I want to do 5 for the EP, but I'll totally slap them as soon as I get a couple more little ditties written. Next time I have a good day on the forklift, I'll have to wrap that EP up and
Oh,
package it up. So
yeah. That was all I had for tonight, folks. It was just those two segments. You got to hear a little bit of new Jesse Jess tonight.
right.
We only ran for about an hour and 15, but that's okay. We're
Oh damn, we
running
got
stories that were on our last minute, but make sure to check out the Gooch. Make sure to catch out Crocus, Crocus the Focus. And make sure to check out INN. Make sure to subscribe and like and comment. Do what you have to do to support the channel because we are very obviously suppressed.